Welcome to Guitar Lessons with Apernit. This is the third video of the acoustic lesson series. And in this video, I'll be talking about finger strength, certain shapes, which will help your fingers, all the fingers to basically get more powerful equally. And certain ideas on strumming patterns and the insights of like the strumming and the dynamics and the basic vocabulary about it. And we will also be understanding that how you can get those elements of drums on your guitar. Basically, whenever you play a rhythm, so it's always important to understand the basic function of rhythms, how they are actually functioning. What is the basic method to sync with them? So in this lesson we'll be talking about that. So let's get started. So let's take a G major. And what I mean to say here is that it's quite important to get a sustain from your bar chord. It also ensures that you have a good finger strength to hold that bar chord for a substantial period of time. So all the notes should ring. So basically, whenever we play in the studio, we always make sure that the claw, the bar chord claw, should be appropriate enough so that the chord is ringing properly. The chord sounds good and nicely rich. Now similarly, there's another shape which is a very basic shape, but it's very important when we actually have a transition between the chords. It's like a D major shape. My guitar is tuned to E flat, by the way. So this shape is also very important, and you have to just hold it for a while, And now get back to the G shape. So one is G major shape, second is a D major shape, and third is a C major. So in totality it will be like now you have to make sure that the transition between the chords is smooth. Now this one is very interesting. It is an open voicing, chords, and very simple basic chords. But you have to sustain that half of the guitar, like the low strings will be pressed, and E and B generally will be open. So your claw will be like, suppose if you're playing, let's say an A major. So A major, just exclude the E and the B. Just let them ring open. And rest all will be pressed. So in terms of these bar chords, it will be like same for B, for A, for G, even for F, and for E. And when you're playing the E major, or maybe like a D major, which starts from the 5th string roots, you have to again apply the same technique, which is again E and B will be open, just because it gives a double kind of a feel, and also you can listen to the sustain very nicely, and it's pretty musical in its own way. So let's hear it how it will be. E, B, A, C sharp minor, G, F, and E. Now these kind of voicings are very useful while singing and playing. So for example, just probably let's get something out of it. It gives a very double guitar kind of open heavenly feel, because E and B first and the second strings are ringing open, and you can also get more dynamics out of it. How? Practice just hum the chords, like the C major and a B major and an A major, C sharp minor and an E major and a B major, and shift to A major, gone to C sharp minor, then to G, to A and B, back to E, then to D, then to C and D, back to E. That way you can actually hum the chords, the flavor of those chords, and take a metronome or a groove and practice along with it. So again, quickly a revision that E and B is open and rest all is pressed, and very basic chords. You can try out in different keys also. In this I have taken an E because E and B generally comes in the scale, and it's kind of good harmonization happening, like. Use. This workout is a major 7 workout, and it goes like 2 major 7s. One is a G major 7 and one is a D major 7. You can use it chromatically. How? It's like this. And the sustain has to be there. Now I'm basically using more of a finger comping here, but you can use a strumming also, especially on this claw, and then you can use again the bar chord. So in all this basic ideas, one point is sustain, second is clarity, third thing is all the notes of the chord shapes and the movements should be clear and independently ringing, so there'll be no muting things happening here. Well, for example, you can take this like a D major 7, and suppose if I want to shift from D major to an A major 7, so the basic method is that your claw should move completely from one to another one. There's no moving of separate individual notes, because you're not playing a line right now. When you play a plucking line, for example, then it's a different case when you're playing something like that. But when you're playing a chord, a full-fledged like a sustained chord, so it has to move independently, like from proper groups, So you can practice slow. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in this meantime you actually have this claw getting. So you can practice slowly the claws like that. So you can get like. Okay, this exercise is based on A minor, and it's really helpful in building finger strength, and it's also musical. So let's take a look at it. I'll play it slow for you first. So basically what's happening in here is the concept is a little bit of distant notes, usage. So when we play like a first on A minor, then just shift the little finger, musically, and it actually gives a different feeling into the left hand. But make sure each and everything sustains again, the same common point. And now this is an F6 basically. So you're just using an F6, this voicing, and again like with the sustain, and then the top F note. And then this one will be an augmented feel, like, with the dominant 7 note. Then shifting to G. Like this G6, this is F6, G6, and this is the E augmented with a dominant 7, and then same thing to A6. So it's basically like the symmetry of like these three and these three are maintained. So you have to basically just get this. So basically that's the exercise. And all this while, if you just notice, the thumb should not be like locking it. It's preferable that if you keep your thumb behind and slightly a little, have these knuckles parallel to the fretboard in an overall general playing. So you'll get equal balance from the fingers, equal force. Now this exercise is an F sharp major 7 with a flat 9 movement, and again this one is for your finger strength. So basically like this, and now you have to just shift the pinky finger. So it's very simple. You can use it in any keys also, like other keys. So back to okay, this exercise is a hammer-on exercise, and again it's useful for building equal finger strength. But prior to doing this, you have to make sure that your knuckles is parallel to the fretboard. So basically, your hand should move in a more parallel way. Avoid gripping the guitar for particularly this purpose of exercise like that. Keep your thumb behind, so that you have more range to cover in a way, and you have more of a good pivoting action happening. And place your fingers all on 6th string like that, so that place in such a way that the flesh and the face of the finger does not touches the adjacent string. So it's gonna be like this, and make sure like the 5th string rings. So this will be like a good fret positioning. Now what you need to do is that just mute the guitar, for instance, and hammer on, and just lift all your fingers and hammer on individually by the fingers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now while hammering on, make sure that the amount of pressure should come from the fingers, not from like the exact elbow or the palm. So make sure your hand is slightly relaxed, and you're using your fingers to hammer. So you will also realize one thing, that the index and the middle finger is slightly more powerful. So what you should do is that start with a very softer amount, but try to have equal volume from all the fingers. You can actually increase the amount of pressure on the ring finger and also on the pinky finger, and then you can do vice versa with these two. Like these two will be strong, and then these two will be strong in pressure and in hammer on force. Then and while doing this, make sure your thumb is behind, and also make sure that you're approaching the fretboard with an perpendicular angle and 90-degree angle. So this will be really helpful. You just start slow. and you can use it on all the strings also. In fact, you can just like use it on an open string.